Hey guys, Deerman1999 here with another video for you guys today. This one's going to be a collection update. Not a collection update, a Workbench and dial update. Because I have not made one of these in an incredibly long amount of time. Actually, I don't think I've made one of these since my first video. At least a Workbench update. But I know I made a dial update around the middle of last year, but I have started a new diorama. And I'm probably also going to do a custom update today too, because just because of the immense amount of work I have done on stuff since the last one. A lot of work has occurred. And I'm also sure that many of you wonder what tools I use to make the custom models. And I also have a little thing full of parts there, which I will show, just give a brief overview of all the parts that I have. Some of them are in fact for sale, but not many of them are. It's just I do like to hoard my parts, as Stuart would say. We are both parts hoarders. And I also just cleaned my workbench today. I can assure you that it does not always look like this. Normally, this row of models back here is replaced with a gigantic mound of plastic scraps. And then, well, we'll get into the update here. I'll show you over here. We'll go to the other side first. There we've got my drill. Safety glasses. Step over here. Dremel. I've got a couple clamps here. Got my brass, which I don't use too often, but I do have something planned for this. Because I do have some stuff coming that will need what I'm going to make out of those. Screwdriver, scissors, as I said, safety glasses, small little hammer, ball peen, plastic knife, file, and a bit of Dremel stuff. Got my Plastrip weld here, super glue here, and then this stuff is pretty nice. It's called extra thin cement. So what you do with this is you put it, you put it on your joint after you've put this on, and it makes it even harder and stronger. Here I have my needle files. These are great. These are very useful. I use these constantly. Masking tape, which I'm getting a little low on. Oops. Whoopsie. Anyway, I accidentally kicked the charging cord on my camera. Back there, we've got all my bottle paints that I use for hand painting. I don't hand paint that much stuff, but I still have a lot of it back from when I used to assemble the odd model kit every once in a while. up there, I have a couple parts. A 312 thumb that I'm working on. I need to fix that. That should be done this weekend, Joe, if you're watching this. Just this box of or Tupperware container of parts. There's a backhoe boom, just and there's some custom stuff in there. We got Stewart's grading bucket. I can't find it. Some piece of crap fenders, which I hate. Some wheels. Here's a 312 boom. I did get a message about this, but I don't actually remember who sent me the message, so I figured I'd just show it in this video because I'm not sure. I do have one, so. And then I've also got a 320 ME stick. So I've also in there, pop you off the tripod. Inside there, got a roll of electrical tape, some various writing utensils, some drill bits, soldering stuff, more drill bits. Now we're gonna go back, we'll go straight up here. A Dremel kit, which I need to buy another one because I've broken most of the things that comes with. Decal paper. Ruler, wrench, and then staple gun, which I don't use very often. Hammer, and all my scrap, or pretty much all my plastic actually. So all my scraps, everything's in there. So it's like a plastic bucket. I've got some reference photos on the wall back there, 953C photo. Which I'm supposed to be building for somebody, but I don't think I'm ever going to be doing that. Got a couple organizers in the back there, as well as some paint caps. This one's got a bunch of Chevy 1500 parts in it. Where is it? There. That's Connor's stuff. I've got tweezers. Let's grab this. This one's got a bunch of diorama stuff in it. Knife cap, and then this bottom side here is empty, but the top side has some various screwdrivers in it. And on the bottom, this one, got a miter box. I'll move and then this X-Acto saw with a couple of blades. Wire. Some little dental tools which are quite useful for various things. And then all my brass and copper rod, which I use for pins. It's all 1/16. So I have a lot of it, obviously, so that I don't run out, because I have run out in the past and that's not fun. I have to make the pins out of just plastic, which then obviously are quite prone to breaking. In the back, we've got a bunch of ongoing projects, some notable ones: 385 BL, 345 CL. Hold on here, let me raise you up a bit more. Cat 320 DLFM back there. Detailing a 744H. Over here, the deer boom you see is a, that's to a deer 450C. And then progressive thumb for a 330. And then I've also got a 350L going on back there. But those, I'm going to do a custom I will probably do a custom update today. Because I have all my custom models down here. At least all the new ones. So, back past the drill there, I've got all my diorama stuff. I've got a bunch of snowy trees because I was using, I did have plans for a snow diorama. So all the snow trees here. I have this black sand, which I use for roads, foliage, talus, which is gravel, and then like grass. Here we've got a little thing with all my fillers. We've got green filler, white filler, and JB Weld, which doesn't actually work that well. I do not recommend that. It's not very good. Under the brass and the Dremel there, I've got all my plastics. And then if we go up top, I have an empty plastic cup. I've got my soldering stuff back here. And there go my trees. Soldering stuff, soldering system, or iron. It's just a little cheap system. Just to start off with. Put that stuff back up there. And then I've got all my paint. I've got cat paint, white primer, deer paint, or a yellow deer. Behind there I've got like a brick color, mineral spirits. Behind there is yellow, deer gray, satin black, Tester's decal bonder, this bright silver stuff. I thought I had another can of silver. Oh yeah, it's behind the red there. Yeah, there. And then bright silver, and then crappy piece of crap. Cat paint, or it's not even cat paint. Anyway, I'll open up the parts drawers here. On the top, there's what's in the top there. And on the bottom there, I've got the 160 deer 160 in here. No, that's the cat. That's the cat bottom, but 160 parts. Now we will move over to the diorama. Just put it down right here. So, here's the diorama. Going up. So, there's the plans, which are upside down. This is going to be the plans for the demolition diorama. We've got the road on the two sides there, going along. And then in the middle there, we have a large parking garage. And then off to the side, we have an empty lot which will be the staging ground for the machines. I had my scenic cement in my hand there. I've also got a piece of crap Jeep here from Brent Sweeney. Don't go subscribe to him, go unsubscribe because he sucks at making stuff. White 963, which is going to become a 973 when I get another 963. And then here I've got the D6, which this I did flip the cylinders upside down to make them more realistic. And some thumb parts down there, and a paint cap with a bunch of diamond plate stuff in there. Now if we move up here, you can see the beginnings of a crusher that I am making for some, that's been put on hold for a little bit. Here, this tripod is in a terrible spot. Can't get around. Trees. Some H-beam. Some more plastic. The beginnings of a portable water tower, which will be put on hold until I purchase a drill press, because the way that I was doing it was terrible and not working. Some decals, a bunch of shipping things, ship stuff to Canada quickly, sandpaper, and one 64th pickup truck and some diorama stuff, including a wheelbarrow and a porta-john, or porta-potty, and jersey barriers. Here, I'll show you the diorama again. So, there's the roads there, and there's where the empty lot would be, and there's where the parking garage would be. And then, if we turn around here, we've got more model parts. Here. This is all my 330 parts. There's a couple of processing heads in there. A broken Komatsu D61? D51 EX. That's broken. Like, really broken. All my 330 parts are in there. A broken D8. If anybody has, like, I don't need a full D8, but I do need this part here with the cylinders because mine broke and I accidentally glued it onto the body here and it's just completely dickered. Yeah, so D8 parts, there's a 315 body in there. 330. That's going back to Brent because I can't really fix that. That's just done so badly that there's no way to fix that. There's also some more plastic there and a 2954 body, which has been badly weathered. Not by me. 2954 undercarriage. This is a nice little thing that I made. It's a LeBounty bucket link shear. And you put it on the machine. This is where it would connect to the dog bones, and this is where it would connect to the stick. And then it's got a pivot point there, and it works like that. when you put out the cylinder, and it's mounted to the stick. I thought that was pretty cool, so I built one. There's a little shed back there, and part of Stewart's 825H. Some wheels, a 365 body, which is Stewart's International 5900i body, 953B body, 953 cab, 953 undercarriage, which I'm putting metal tracks on, and a 345B body, which I really did something bad on there. So that is the workbench and the diorama. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment box down below. I would like to ask you to rate, comment, and subscribe, and say thank you for watching.